What's up, guys? It's Chet Faker. No diggity. Just gonna set it down. Not gonna throw it this time. What's up, guys? I know it's been a little bit, but I'm back today because I had this good idea the other day. Kind of something I haven't done before, and I'm really excited about it. But before I get into that, obviously you can see I'm not in my room today. Just kind of, I don't know, felt like a different scenery would be cool. There's Maryland behind me, as you saw, whatever. And then my Blu-ray stuff. This is my living room. And yeah, I just had some time today, so it's been a little bit since I've made a movie-related video, and so I'm back today because I had a pretty good idea, and I'm excited about it. So, again, I'm Luke, as you know, you're here, and what I decided to do today was, I had this idea at work that of this kind of like, something kind of happened, and then I had this like, oh, that'd be cool if like a movie happened, sort of like, I know this isn't making sense, but I want to do a movie pitch to you guys, kind of like a couple minute elevator pitch. I don't really know what I'm going to call it right now. As far as this, just pitching a movie to you. And like I said, I'm not going to get really deep into it. I'm not going to set up main characters or, maybe sometimes, but it's going to be very general. It's just going to be, honestly, a pure elevator pitch. Like, hey, you got an idea? Then it's like, boom, 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 boom. And we hit it and we go, So this is, I kind of did it with John Wick, but I dove more into it. With this one, I just thought of it and I was like, you know what, that'd be fun. So let's just get into it here. I have some notes in my pocket. Boop. And so the working title, I'll tell you the working title after. Okay, so picture this. We're at an office building, typical desk job, 40-hour week, 8 to 5, sitting around doing work, normal day. So how we're going to start this one off is it'll be opening credits will be going, and it'll be kind of like a montage, slower sort of shots of just basic office life. People getting coffee, falling asleep at their desk, typing away, like looking at the clock, and then all of a sudden, and you get the feeling as the opening credits go that it's just a normal day, and then the day ends. And our main character, just a normal guy, is sitting at his computer. The day ends, people go, and he's sitting there, and for some reason, some kind of error happened where he had to stay for a little bit longer. He starts, trying to deal with it. And then, so basically, he gets it figured out, but he's the last one to leave. So as he's getting up and leaving, there's one manager left in the corner, and they get a call, and they're sitting there on the phone, and just, you don't really, it's kind of muffled and kind of in the background, but it's just odd because the manager's like, okay, like, it seemed to be an odd thing, but whatever. So you leave, go home. So then we'll cut to next morning, alarm clock going off, gets ready, goes to work, comes into work, and things are kind of going like normal, sort of like what we saw in the opening credits. And things are bustling, whatever. And then he sits at his desk, and then something's not working. And then, eventually the room kind of gets louder, and you realize that something's going on. And basically what had happened was the system went down. So whatever network they were on wasn't working, so they were kind of at a standstill, right? So, and this is kind of right away starts to be like a kind of like exciting, like, oh, like good. It's a release from the normal flow of what we're used to, People are kind of like, it's kind of like high school when, you don't have class, or it's just kind of people start to get louder and start talking, whatever, not doing work, because what work can you do when the network's down? So everybody's kind of like talking and kind of testing how loud they can get, sort of whatever. But then the managers are kind of like trying to keep order, like, all right, guys, like, let's Just let's try and figure this out before we get crazy or anything. But then as time goes on, just a little bit, like, managers increasingly start to get more upset with people not doing work, even though there's nothing to be done. They just kind of are trying to keep order, and they're getting really stressed out. So the managers start running around. There's phones ringing. They're answering the phone, talking to corporate. Corporate's calling in, telling them what to do. Try this, shut down, restart, whatever. And then the employees are just kind of like, whatever, like, it's going to pass. It's not a big deal. We don't have to work, What could be better than that? So people are kind of running around, and the managers just keep getting pissed. They keep getting upset and yelling at the people. And then eventually, once, like, it's more than, like, an hour, people kind of start looking around, and it gets kind of quiet. Like, what do we do? So then this is when the strange stuff starts happening. This is when, and this will all be first act stuff, okay? So now, when the second act starts, it'll be that, like, somebody is going to go to their lunch break, and they can't leave. Like, the door's locked, and then they're like, hey, I got to go to my lunch break. And the managers aren't letting people leave. They say no one leaves this building until we figure out what's going on. And people are like, you can't do that. Who gives a shit? I'll come back, whatever. But no one's leaving. They're not letting anyone leave. And people are starting to question it, and the managers are getting pissed and, like, are saying, this is from corporate. We can't leave. Like, and then, some people are pissed, but most people are just like, whatever. So they go to the break room, whatever. But some people are fuming, okay? So then these phone calls keep coming, and the phone calls, the managers just are weird on. They're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, okay. And then basically, people are uneasy. People are upset. People are kind of mad at each other. They're getting resentful. And as a main character, this main character is just going to sit through it all and experience it with us, But there's going to be some people, like, there's always going to be the one guy who has all the conspiracy theories, that says this, this, and this is what's going on. The other people are saying, like, just relax, it'll be over. And some people like, hey, at least we're not working right now. And some people are like, I just want to work, all that'll be going on. So then these phone calls keep coming in from corporate to these managers, right? And then it starts to get weird. First, it starts with no one's allowed to leave the building until we figure this out, okay? And then it's like weird things like everybody has to stand up at the same time, and maybe that'll work. And at first people are like laughing and like, what? And then they're like, oh, whatever, we'll just stand up, and then it doesn't work. And then it just keeps getting weirder. Like, eventually they'll call in and be like, all right, now we got to rearrange. We got to sit everyone boy, girl. And then we got to seat everyone oldest to youngest. And then, and somehow, because of the way our bodies are set up, that charge of energy specifically will get the network going. And it makes no sense. And people are like, what the hell is going on? But when no one can leave and you don't know what's going on, people just do it. Like, unfortunately, groupthink, we're all sheeple. Right away, we'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. And then we just will. So we start doing these crazy things, and and this is kind of like, I'm leaving kind of open so that if this were to happen, you can really add a lot of specific stuff. But that's just kind of the main feel. So weird stuff like that keeps happening. And then I wrote on here, alliances are formed and broken. So we'll say that people come in, normal friends you talk to when all this stuff is happening. Maybe they're the type of people who are like, no, dude, this is going to work. Like, I've read something about this. I saw this on Facebook. And then other people are like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why would any of this work? It's a conspiracy, man. And then, like, eventually, like, the phone calls won't come for a while. So then, like, people form in different groups, kind of like cliques, but it's really weird. And it's almost kind of tribal, and then they're not talking to each other. Like, they're starting to pass notes. So then, because of all this craziness coming from corporate and this network not working, then it's starting to break down our normalcy, and, like, people are just acting weird. And it's weird, except for the main character who's like, what the hell is going on, honestly? So all this is going on. This crazy stuff is happening, and let's say every like hour, every half hour, another phone call will come in, and then something crazy will happen again, and that's kind of how we'll flow through the movie. Each phone call will get progressively crazier of weird shit we have to do, and then the tension will be dealing with from phone call to phone call because they'll be drastically different things, and then you'll try and piece together what the hell any of this could mean or what is actually going on. So yeah, the first phone call will be no one can leave the building, and then it'll be seat everyone oldest to youngest, or boy girl, and then it'll just keep going. But like when everyone oldest to youngest, then they're like, well, that doesn't make sense, and they're sitting there, and then they start to talk themselves into it and buy into it and say, well, if corporate says it's going to work, then it's going to work. And like once they finally get to that point, then another phone call comes in and says, no, that doesn't make sense, do this now. And then so it's all these weird of like telling yourself it's not going to work and then trying to tell yourself it is going to work, and then it's just going in this weird direction. I think it could be super fun and dark and weird. So that's kind of my basic idea for it. And then I wrote, some form of normalcy is tried to be taken, but no such luck. So, and I thought it'd be cool too, is as it progresses, like some people who, like I said, were super into the whole, let's say oldest to youngest seating, then like the next one comes, and then the next one comes, and then maybe on the third one they're like, well, it was working better, like we had a better shot when it was oldest to youngest, we should have stayed with that longer, and like I just think it could be really crazy fun stuff. So and then there'd be another subplot of some managers, like maybe one or two, like there's one manager who's always going to take control. He's going to be the main guy, and he's going to be like, whatever corporate says, we do. We don't question them. And then there's going to be a couple of managers that are like, all right, we got to do this, guys. And then there's always like the one who's kind of like, look, guys, I don't know if it's going to work, but what do we do? And then that's the one that I think maybe at some point would be like, all right, guys, let's think about what we're doing here. Why do we have to do this? And then you get some, I thought it'd be cool scene to be like, finally one manager's like, this is crazy. We can't let these people do this. We got to let them go. And then the other managers take them in the back or something, and they come out and they're a completely different, like, mindset. And they're like, no, I was wrong. They explained it. This is what has to happen. So just so, like, we get a little bit of hope of, like, oh, yes, it's going to happen. Let's get them out of there. And then, no, nothing. I thought that'd be kind of cool. And then, yeah, so it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. And you think, what the hell is happening here, And how I have this ending right now is, so everything's going on, it's going crazy, things are getting progressively weirder. Like I said, the managers, some of them are saying, no, we got to stop this, like, why can't we leave, all this other stuff. And then once it gets to its breaking point, when it's super crazy and no one knows what's going on, and you as an audience is like, seriously, I just want to know what the fuck is going on here. Give me some answers, right? Then we're waiting on the last phone call, right? We know there's going to be at least one more. And, let's say they come in every hour. So on the hour, phone call doesn't come. And everybody's waiting. And at this point, people are conditioned to be like, tell us what to do. Give us some direction. We don't know what's going on. Give us an update. And then it's not coming and not coming. And then we'll say that, the way that they keep order is the manager's like, you can rebel all you want, but corporate has to tell us what to do, so we'll just wait on this next phone call. So then people are kind of getting pissed, and then when that final phone call doesn't come on the hour, people are like getting out of control. And then right when the rebellion is starting, people are pushing the managers, throwing their chairs out of the way, like, we have rights, get us out of here, right? Then the phone rings, and everybody's quiet, right? It just pierces the noise, and everybody stops. And then the main manager, walks over there, eyes wide, just like, hello? Right. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright guys, should be back up, just, Just restart, see if it'll work. And people don't know what to do. They're like, what? And so then, slowly people like start picking up their chairs and the papers they threw, and then they start their computers. And then, from back here, yep, I'm on. Yeah, I got in. Yeah, it's working for me too. And then slowly people just start going back into their sheep mode, just like from 1 minute being to right back in. And the main character and we as the audience are looking around like, what do you mean it's working now? And then nobody thinks that. Everybody goes right back to their work, picks up everything, and then as everybody's back at it, then we're just like, the main character's looking around like, are you fucking kidding me? And then the manager's like, yeah, hey, make sure you send us an email, about what, the system down times or whatever. And the main character stands up and is looking around, and then one of the managers is like, hey, Jim, or whatever the main character's name is, are you working or are you looking around? And just looks around at like the shit that happened, like the paint on the walls, the shit thrown everywhere, just this chaos before him. And he's looking around like, what the hell? And the camera, slowly zooms out. And then keeps going as you just look perplexed, just looking around, and the camera slowly pans out and then pans out of the window. And we'll say it's raining for dramatic effect. And then it's raining outside. And then cut to black. And that's it. That's the end of the film. And so the working title I have for this is Downtime. I was going to call it System Down, but I kind of liked Downtime. So there you go. Like, I thought it's a fun, weird thriller, and it isn't explained, and you won't ever know. And it's ambiguous. I don't have any idea what any of that shit could mean. But I was inspired by that because at work, we had a System Down thing just for a little bit. And it was weird because it was like, hey, literally nothing's working. All right, we got to sit here, Then we're just kind of sitting around, and then, like, everything's kind of uneasy. And I just was like, what we didn't have to do, I just started writing stuff down, like, what if this happened? What if this happened? And I thought it'd be cool thing. So there's my elevator pitch. I know it went for a couple minutes longer, but like I said, there's not a lot of super specific stuff in there. And I think if an indie director or some kind of director would do that, then I think they could really add their own flair to it, and there's a lot to build on, and you could have some very interesting characters and have some different arcs in there. I am a fan of ambiguous endings. I know some people say they're lazy or that they don't always, whatever. But I think it's more interesting than trying to explain it in a half-assed way that nobody's going to like, that not a lot of people are going to understand. Like that's the fun of it, and that's the crazy part of it, is like why, like when corporate calls in to say, hey, you got to sit this way, and you got to do this, you got to do this. And it doesn't make sense, and yet you have to do it. And the fun of it is that it doesn't make sense. And then if it was at the end just saying, like, oh, it was aliens, and like, who cares? Like, it's more fun to sit there and wonder why any of that would work or how it happened. Maybe they were just buying time, and I think it'd be cool. And I like the setup of the opening credits to just show you what a normal workday looks like and how people just fall into their roles. Maybe show that at the beginning, and then right away before the system goes down, then it shows, and then when all this craziness happens, then when you get back to it, people just fall right back in their roles again. So I thought it was cool. I thought it sounded really fun. So yeah, I just want to pitch it to you. I'll probably do more of these in the future, honestly. Like I've said before, these videos just come out when I feel like I'm giving my all. Like I don't want to do a video where I'm half-assed, or I don't totally believe in the idea, or I'm not really sure what I want to say with it. Like, otherwise they just don't turn out well, in my opinion. But with this one, I think it's a fun concept, and I'm going to keep doing these. I think, like, when I think of an idea, I'm gonna try and like get a quick pitch like that and go into it, not go too deep. Maybe someday I will, but just with these, like, I just thought that'd be cool, like, think of a story, think of an arc, maybe base it off one character, and I'll probably keep doing them. And I'm hoping to get people on here to do it. Like I said, this is the first time I've done it, but I think it'd be cool to, like, have another person here, and then he or she and I would be like, all right, here's the topic. We didn't talk to each other anymore, but these are the movies we came up with. I think that'd be super fun. I am working on it, but let me know what you guys think. If you want to cast my movie or say who should direct it or what you think, let me know. Again, like I always say, tell me how shitty I am. Tell me I suck. I just love interaction. Love to hear your guys' feedback. Just let me know what you think about that. If that was a movie that was coming out, would you go see it? Again, thank you guys for watching. Hit me up on Twitter at LukeLarson89. Also, I have a good friend, Burdett Dog. He also does YouTube videos, BURDETTDOG. He does video game commentaries. He's on a bit of a lull right now, but he and I were trying to get co-op on his channel together. Also, check out the Eat Sleep Movies Network with my good buddy Chris Zimmerman. They do a lot of different podcasts on there. I'm a big fan of theirs. I've been on their podcast before. It's a great time. You're going to hit him up on Twitter at ZimmaBimBim. They do Magnificent 7, Top 7 lists, movies that gets tournament form. They have new shows like Netflix and Chill. The Remakers, which is probably my favorite of all theirs. So good. They take a movie from not too long ago and remake it, recast it, find a director, blah, blah. And it's fantastic. So check all those people out. I really appreciate you guys always watching this. So I'm going to go live my life. You do the same.